are in Breezy Point, New York, on the Rockaway Peninsula. You can see behind me some of the extensive damage that's been caused by Hurricane Sandy in recent weeks. This urban damage is typical of what you can find in the area. Behind me you can see a tilted porch that's been kind of knocked off of its foundation. There's a lot of damage to siding and shingling and roofing, and also you'll see a lot of sand in the streets that's been pushed up by stormwater, wind, and rain. So Sandy's had some devastating effects not only on the urban environment but on the natural environment here as well, with beach erosion and things like that.
You know, the storm surge varies all over the place. We were in an area yesterday where clearly the water was 4 or 5 feet up on the home, so that's a pretty good surge, and that was relatively well inland.
Hurricane Sandy caused extensive damage from near the New York area all the way down the coast to New Jersey where we are. For example, you can see the boat behind me has been beached, isn't even in water anymore, and the docks have been destroyed.
I happened to go to Coney Island and Seagate, which is right on the water, the next day. And they had 6 to 8 feet of water. Cars were floating all over the place. Houses got demolished, just like in this area. Anything on the beach got demolished. I've been here many times and I've seen the beautiful homes, and I could not believe that this thing made it look like nothing. It just went right through it. You look at some of these buildings, you have some houses, solid brick all the way through, and it just broke down like it was nothing.
We are here in South Brooklyn, near Coney Island. Behind me you can see an excellent example of the amount of sand that was pushed on shore as a result of Hurricane Sandy. This place is absolutely inundated with sand. Several feet still remain in this yard, and this is 2 weeks after the storm hit, so a lot of it's already been cleared up. But you can see the extensive amount of pileup there was.
It is really, again, it depends on the block. It's very interesting. You'll drive down some roads and you'll think, wow, everything looks pretty good. But what you don't see is the fact that water came in and flooded basements and first floors. Now, it might not have taken the house away, but it's not habitable because it's salt water, and they have to get electricians in to make sure that the wiring is done. Now, other places, you'll see boats that are in the median. They don't belong there. And then down on, it's down in the Rockaways, they have a boardwalk. That's completely gone. Just the cement structure that held it is there, and all of the cement is now on the beach. Sand everywhere. The further you go, there are houses that have been washed away. You'll see like debris in the street, either that's been washed out of people's houses or that people have just taken out of their houses and they're putting on the side of the road to get taken away. So cars that are stacked on top of each other are parked sideways because they got washed by the water. So it really depends on where you go. Depends on where you go. It's really a huge variety of devastation.
When I try to get my flood insurance on the phone, American Bank is, their phone box is full. You can't even leave a message. So I don't even know when they're coming. But in the meantime, we're doing what we have to. This is our primary residence. We needed new hot water heaters, new heating, new air conditioning, in order to live in the house, So we're having to replace all of that. We had 2.5 feet of water in our basement, and everything was soaking wet and beginning to grow mold by the time we were even allowed back in our homes, because they put a red sticker on my house that it was uninhabitable for humans. I had to hire an engineer before, we were allowed to come and live in the house. And I did that and brought it to the town, and they said, okay, now you can go in. But, days had gone by. Everything wet and moldy in the basement. So when we were finally allowed to start coming here and cleaning up, there were many people walking through the streets. We had a lot of workers helping us, and they were bringing them juice and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. They were going like right out to the people. You didn't even have to go to a shelter, So the response has been remarkable. I know a lot of people, it seems, are complaining on TV, but, with a disaster this size, to have any kind of a response, and this is our government, they are really working for us, honestly. There's a huge sandbar sitting right, if you go over this dune, then you see flat sand, then you see a water gully, and then you see a huge sandbar, and then you see the ocean, But, over the years that we've lived here, we watch this happen frequently. The sand goes out, and you know there's a sandbar sitting out there, and then it comes back in with another type of a storm, you know, so there's no fighting Mother Nature.
You know, a lot of people, their sense of getting things back to normal is electricity. And that's the biggest security blanket that people know, and that's their biggest concern. I have noticed that the people of New Jersey are very, very diligent. They are taking it upon themselves to step in and pitch in to be part of this cleanup effort. And I've seen people do remarkable things in just the week that I've been here compared to the devastation you see one day, and the next day it's virtually gone. They're really doing an outstanding job. The damage I've seen has been, you know, fairly substantial. You know, I've seen where on the island side where people have lost their homes completely. I've seen the flood damage where water has come up, you know, 4 feet or so into their homes, and they've lost what they've had in there. You know, the wind damage that I've seen hasn't been very substantial, and I think they're lucky in that aspect. But the flooding is what did it, and it's pretty substantial. You know, and that's the most important thing. The things that didn't quite go so well, let's take a look at that. What can we do to make it go better for next time? And that's the key, being prepared for the next time. They have a good model here to go off of to be prepared for. It's just complacency which kind of gets us sometimes.
There's been massive erosion. They spent a week building up dunes trying to protect, but it did nothing. Seaside Park, which has natural dunes and seagrass, and it's beautiful, they were spared. They had the best of results because of that natural dune and seagrass that literally protected them from the ocean, the force of the waves. But I've seen pictures, and it's just not even recognizable. The streets are filled with sand, and it's just not there. You know, there's houses that are missing. They're just floated away. Roofs, you know, it's just, it'll never be the same. It'll take years to get this back. But I think that New Jersey will come back from this. The Jersey Shore will come back. It will never be the same, but it'll be a little different. But hopefully everyone's learned a lesson on, you know, when to leave and what to do and how to build and how to protect themselves from this happening again.